Hi, my loves. My name is Tiffany, and welcome to my first episode of the Chrysalis Experience. I'm so happy that y'all are here to join me. I really am. Yeah, I'm so excited. All right. So, let me just tell you a little bit of background about the Chrysalis Experience and what we're doing here. We're here to talk about love, light, truth, healing. You can't heal without the truth. And I like to tell the truth, I like to tell it a lot. So, that's what we're here for. But before we get started, I just want y'all to know that the Chrysalis Experience is brought to you by the book, The Chrysalis Experience, which you can pick up on Amazon. You can get ebook or hard copy. So you guys run over to Amazon after this and get your copy of The Chrysalis Experience, please. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. Written by me for you all. So I wanted to get into the topic of today, which is elevation breeds destruction. That's right. The more you try to elevate, the more it seems like destruction is all around you. It's almost like when they say the eye of the storm, the calm of the storm. I feel like that's what it's like attempting to elevate. As you are trying to heal all your childhood pains, all your young adult pains, as you were trying to bring yourself to a place where you are better in a spiritual sense, an emotional sense, a physical sense, and a mental sense, there will be death and destruction all around you. A little background story on me. I used to have a podcast called Talk with Tiff, and I did about 5 episodes. And within those 5 episodes, I got a lot of feedback from family and friends, and a lot was positive. But when you have a baby and it's your first baby ever, and you get negative feedback from people who matter the most to you, I don't know about everybody else, but for me, it crushed me. It had me going back to the drawing board. It had me figuring out what was going on. I had people who would give me backhanded compliments saying it's good, but I could work on this, but. And I realized that these people would never be brave enough to get on camera and to say anything that was remotely close to exposing themselves and telling the truth. On Talk with Tiff, I exposed and I let everyone know my battle with depression and my mental health issues. How at 28, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, ADHD, and OCD, excuse me. How I was asked if I wanted to get tested for autism, but I was like, no, thank you. You put enough on my plate. Um, on Talk with Tiff, I would talk about communication and, elevation. And within those 5 episodes, I honestly, I was so vulnerable that the people who watched heard and knew my vulnerabilities, and they weaponized it. They weaponized it in a way where it was like, I want this woman to elevate, but I don't want her to get beyond me. I want her to be good, and I hear that she's healed from a lot of things, so I'm just going to test it. I'm just going to push it. I'm going to make her feel sad. And what I learned are a few lessons. One, when I say who cares what people say, I don't mean it to be in a negative or destructive way where I'm being dismissive. But if you know, and I've always been like this, if you know that the advice that you're getting is from a broken person, I wouldn't listen to it. Watch how they live their lives. Watch the examples that they're doing. You could potentially learn so much from simply observing a person. But watch how that person lives their lives, because what comes out of someone's mouth does not matter. It's about who they are and their character. And I realized a lot of people who had low character had high opinions. Y'all know what I'm saying? And so today I look at it and I'm like, every time I'm on a space of elevation, because life goes like this. Life goes, you rise up, and then you have your high, your climax, and then you may plateau for a little bit, and you may come down. Life is full of rises and falls, full of plateaus, full of this is just good for nows. And so I realized anytime I'm on the path of elevation, there are people who come out what I feel like the woodworks with attitudes towards me, disrespect towards me. When I'm looking for myself, there are people who feel irritated, as if what you trying to find, what you trying to look for. There are people who will do their best to invoke my emotions just to put down my intellect so that they can feel like we're still on the same path or that Tiffany is not going to climb above me. And I know that this sounds negative and pejorative, but I'm not meaning it like that. I just want y'all to be realistic to the dangers in this world, realistic to the dangers in this world. I want y'all to be realistic to the fact that when you are on your path of elevation, there will be destruction and death all around you. Now, I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. I believe that there is a God. I believe that there's a potential for there to be many of gods. I don't wish to dispel any religion. I don't wish to dismiss how anyone feels. I just don't believe in that. I believe that if you believe in aliens and your belief in aliens is making you a better person every single day and you somehow find love in your heart and you can love others and you can communicate well and you're a genuine, good, authentic soul, then hey, cheers to you. Aliens it is. But if you are a person and you believe in God real hard and you're a Christian and you're a diehard, I go to church every Wednesday and Sunday and I'm there for New Year's, I'm there for Christmas, I'm there for Thanksgiving. I'm rarely around my family, but I'm just so broken inside. And I tend to carry with me many broken relationships that I'm going to say, I'm so happy that you have some type of anchor, but you're not growing. Maybe that's not for you. So I don't believe that if it's not evil, if it's not causing harm mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, I believe you should be able to practice it. And I mean that 100% because there's too many things that we all believe in that has no right, wrong, or indifferent answer. But if you believe in something that is breeding evil and ugliness and is not helping you to elevate, then maybe that shouldn't be what you believe in. Anyways, going back to my point, elevation breeds destruction. And it's not destruction within you, it's destruction all around you. It's almost as if as you're purging the confusion and the sadness and the brokenness and the trauma from your body and from your mind and from your soul. It's almost if that destruction has to leave you and go somewhere else, like waste. And as that destructive waste goes to other places, it tends to orbit us as if we're in this solar system of good and bad and evil. And as that waste orbits us, it's the people who you don't believe that's going to take on that evil and that negativity. And I believe as you elevate, that evil and that destruction that you're seeing around you, that's people's true identities. I used to think that people around me were just innately good or bad. But as I get to know people and as I get to know myself and I communicate my needs with others and I communicate what has hurt me and how I've been able to heal through these things, what I'm really truly realizing is there are so many hurt people out there that have no way of seeing the end of their hurt. There's no light at the end of their tunnel when it comes to particular things that bring them pain. And there is this envy that is invoked in people when they see that the things that used to make you cry yesterday are just stories that you tell today. And some people want you to get back in that space because if you are changing and you are different and you're elevating and they are not, they feel like, well, what is that saying about me? I have had back to back conversations with two different people where we were talking about things that serious or not. One was a little bit on the more personal side. Another one was just a hypothetical to life. But I realized that both entities tried to find ways to invoke anger and arguments out of me. And with one person, I told them, I said, I don't particularly enjoy these conversations with you because when we're having these back and forths, it seems like you're more combative instead of bringing together intellectual properties for us to just have this conversation. And they said, well, yeah, because I like seeing both point of views. So you take one side, I take the other. And I said, it sounds like to me like you like to play devil's advocate, which is not the same thing as two intellects coming together and conversing about things that are or conversing about having two different points of things. You don't even need to have two opposite sides of something. Two intellects can come together to and have a conversation where we can both say, I can see it from this point. And then someone says, well, what about this? And we can go and discuss and say, I can see it from that point as well. But if there's a back and forth and you don't know how to use your words correctly, so you start doing things to trigger the other person. And as that person is getting triggered, you build onto that trigger and build onto that trigger and say, boom, gotcha. Ooh, see what I mean? No, you're using immature tactics in order to feel like you're winning or ahead of a person. And this is when I say elevation, it stirs up people around you because it reveals their mask. Oh, that person's not as smart as I thought that they were. Oh, that person's not as mature as I thought they were. Oh, you know what? I just told a person, you know, hey, this is how I think about life. How do you see? And they go, I don't see it like that. It's about me, myself, and I. You're like, yeah, no, totally get it. So Darwinism, survival of the fittest, self-preservation, got it. But there's other people around you and we're a community. When people, I'm telling you, when people can't see past their own hurt and their own pain, and you come to them with and you're not asking for them to be who you are, you're just revealing yourself and you're revealing their light. The more light on yourself that you reveal, the more darkness is going to try to jump on top of it. And it's going to use people that you love. I shouldn't have ended Talk with Tiff, but Talk with Tiff was getting toxic because I did 5 episodes and then I took my behind on Instagram. And after a while, it went from like elevating people to be like, hey, you know what? Today I seen a squirrel and I'm like, F that squirrel. Yeah, I'm sick of squirrels. Squirrels get on my nerves. Oh, and if squirrels just did the right thing, maybe I wouldn't have to be sick of them. So it's crazy because people seem to like me better when I was derailing myself, when I was bringing down my value, when I was starting to move in a light that didn't show any type of elevation. I was just stuck in the mud of hurt and pain. Everybody and their mama loved Tiffy then. Everybody and their mama hitting my phone then. Got comments in the comment section. People love being my friend then. And I think the craziest part, because we want to take this step 2, right? Step 2. Not only when you try to elevate, do people try to play with you and bring you back down, but then they gaslight you to make you seem like, oh, now I'm the healing energy. Oh, I have the answers now. Oh, think about it from this perspective. Because now they got you derailed. Your emotions are off. And when my emotions are off, I can't think straight. So all these words that I have and that I can produce in my head and how I can construct sentences, I can't do that when I'm angry. Because it's been already proven. Not only do I have the diagnosis, but people who know me know that bipolar is real. You mix that with ADHD and baby, you have an explosion of emotions. So people around me already know how to trigger me. And I know we like to say, oh, because you gave him the keys and the tools. No, because I didn't know what the keys and tools were. But now that I know and I can watch them attempting to do something to me that I've already seen potentially my ex-husband do to me, I go, oh, so you're using the same tactics that my ex-husband used on me. But you said that you love me because we're family, because we're close friends, right? And then you realize this ain't got nothing to do with love. When God sits you on a certain stature in a certain platform. And when you are the light, people are going to attack that. They're not attacking you, baby. They're attacking that light inside of you, because it's almost like when someone's asleep and you go turn on that light and they're like, shut that damn light off. It's the same thing. Your brightness is affecting them because they are comfortable in the dark. And when you expose them in the dark, as much as they want to seem like they're in the dark, cool, like, yeah, I'm cool, I'm in the dark. Think about, what was that little golem? The thing off of Lord of the Rings. I was like, my precious. They're actually in the corner, my precious, with their hurt and their pain and their brokenness. So your light is irritating them. And so your elevation is breeding destruction around you because you're irritating those around you. So when I was doing my Talk with Tiff podcast, the negative comments that I was getting, the backhanded compliments, the way people would watch my work and then try to regurgitate the information to me as if this was their original thought process. And I'm sitting there like, you never talked like this before. Where are you getting that from? Then when people watch your work, and then they come to you and they speak to you in a manner where they act like they've always been like that before. And they know that they haven't. And they don't even want to tell you that they're learning lessons from your work. They're just like, let me trigger this person right quick and then let me talk above them. Your toenails crusty. We should just all be grateful for the type of toenails that we are given. And you're like, you just call mine crusty. And yeah, this is a form of gaslighting. I just don't want to keep using these psychological terms because I realize we in a society, we eat everything up. One or two people got baby hairs, everybody got baby hairs. One or two people draw their eyebrows in, everybody are going over the top of the eyebrows. So on my channel, I don't want to use too many psychological terms because then everybody's going to feel gaslit. Everybody's going to feel like everybody's a narcissist. Everybody's an avoidant. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's abusive. Yeah, sure. That's a term and it has a definition, but I'm trying to get deeper than that. I'm trying to see if I feel like every time, or if you feel like every time you're elevating, you keep getting knocked down, or people close to you who you wouldn't expect to knock you down are doing it. This is the reason why. Your light is causing them irritation. They are not ready yet. They want to stay around you because they appreciate and love the lessons that you have for them. But as they take those lessons and they apply them directly to themselves, they don't really like what you're talking about. You're making them feel exposed, and they wasn't ready for that. That wasn't the type of exposure they thought they were getting that day. And how dare you? Even if they watch your videos or they hear what you got to say, or you're their family and you're telling them, and you're not physically telling them things, but you're moving in a direction where you're clear, you have love in your heart, and you seemingly have your emotions under control and you're in balance. Your inner harmony is pissing off the next person because they don't have it in them. So your elevation is a breeding ground for destruction. And it's going to surround you because as you walk and as you are feeling light, you have to understand in this world there are storms all around us. And that's why, they be like, what them Christians be saying, like, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'm not scared. I don't really know the saying, but there's this song. He goes, Lord, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'm not scared because you're holding my breath. Because I'm holding my breath. Only fear that I don't have enough time left to tell the world that there's no time left. That is real. As we go through the world and people are elevating themselves and people are becoming who they're meant to be and lights are shining brighter, it feels like you're walking in a valley of death and destruction, because as your light shines, everything else around you is trembling. It's not that everybody is a light and there's a few dark people around us. So there's a lot of people who are in darkness and there are a few lights around us. Because of the comments that I had heard about my videos, I started to feel imposter syndrome, like I wasn't worthy to tell the lessons that God had pre-placed inside of me. But I am worthy. I'm more than worthy. So I'm back, baby. And this is the Chrysalis Experience, where we're going to talk about love, light, truth, and healing, because I am worthy. And I'm going to get attacked. And now I understand that I'm going to get attacked for everything I do, because this is what I choose to talk about. So now that I'm going to put myself on a platform where I talk about these type of things, I'm going to get attacked for everything. Why she dressed like that? Why she blinked like that? Oh, she said a cuss word. That's how it's going to be. And guess what? I'm here for it. I'm here for it all, because this round, Tiffany's not stopping and I'm not giving up. And if you're a person out there who you have pushed for your future, you've pushed towards your dreams, you have done your best to elevate, and people are out there playing with you and they make you feel like you're less than, come on to the Chrysalis Experience. I got your back. A chrysalis is a cocoon. You develop and you transform within that cocoon. And when you emerge from that cocoon, the world is there. Just because you're a beautiful butterfly don't mean there's going to be a gust of wind to knock you on your behind. Doesn't mean there's not going to be a bird that's not going to try to swoop down and catch your behind while you flying in the air to snatch you up. But if you join me weekly on the Chrysalis Experience, I'm going to help you navigate this world. And if you're still in your cocoon, if you're still in your chrysalis, I'm going to help you to elevate and transform and evolve so you can get back out into the world as your beautiful self, so you can shine your light. I don't want to say nothing that everybody else is already saying. I ain't finna say, oh, where my chosen ones at? Oh, where my God's people at? This ain't no category. This is a category of love, light, healing, and truth. And I want y'all to I want y'all to join me on this journey. So tune in weekly, every Monday, and I will bring you the Chrysalis Experience. I love y'all. Thank you so much for watching this first episode. Thank you for supporting me. Again, go on Amazon and go get my book, The Chrysalis Experience. You won't be disappointed. Until next time, guys, I love y'all. Blessings to you.